we just arrived in the town of Mitchell, South Dakota, and most famous thing here is the Corn Palace. Now, of course, we arrived on the one day that they're closed, which is Sunday.
Darn.
So we're not going in. We're going to loop around and just check out everything on the outside. It's really neat because you can tell that they're putting in like new pictures of
the new mural.
The new murals of the corn. Oh, we can't really go this way.
No, let's go.
Anyways, back to what I was saying. It goes around over by like City Hall, going around that way.
What do you like about corn?
It has the juice. Anyways, what I was saying is that they've got murals up and they're putting in new corn. So it's labeled like yellow, brown, so they know what color corn to be sticking into the mural. So that's pretty cool. So they're always changing it up. You're going to see something different. I'll show you what I was talking about. Well, today we've been driving through South Dakota. We just booked it all the way through. It has been an extremely windy day. There was a wind advisory going up, and you could definitely feel it with the van was just rocking. But yeah, our gas mileage is crap. But we finally got just to the Badlands area, and we're going to camp out right on the edge of the Badlands tonight, and the view is just epic. Now, if this is something that you want to do some boondocking right on the edge of the Badlands, I mean, the car is literally right here. All you have to do is drive over to where Wall Drug is, get off at that exit, and instead of going right towards Wall Drug, you're going to take a left, and that's going to take you to Badlands National Park. But before that, there's going to be an exit that or a road that goes off to the left, and it's going to bring you like right to the edge. I'll put that in the notes, let you guys know exactly where we got it, but I found it on iOverlander, and there is a ton of spots where everybody's said that they camped out, and I am not joking. You can literally camp right on the edge of the cliffs. Well, it's pretty crazy the difference that one night makes. The wind was howling all night last night. They said that it's like 50 mile per hour gusts that were going on. It was all day yesterday driving, and then last night was just nonstop. The wind never let up. I had the Starlink out, and it held its ground when it was down facing, so the wind was blowing over it. As soon as I picked it up this morning, when it got even worse at like 4 a.m., I picked it up and it was about to just blow out. So I'm really thankful that it held down on the ground the entire night that we were sleeping. But the snow just came in around 4 o'clock this morning, and it was kind of a whiteout condition. We looked outside and all we could see is what was in the immediate area right here. But beyond that, complete whiteout. So it's not a ton of snow, but it's enough to where it's just covering the ground a little bit. So today we're gonna head over to Wall Drug, do some indoor things over there, check out the shops and whatnot. But we got to charge this thing up and make sure that we have enough power for tonight so that, you know, we got some heat, because it's in the 30s now. Went from 60 degrees last night to now into the 30s. So let's do this. So what is so neat about this place is the tradition that they continue to keep alive. Back in the 1930s, when they were trying to draw people in, they put out signs along the highway saying free ice water, and that began to just drive people into Wall and specifically into Wall Drug. So you can still get free ice water. You just need to go over to one of the Coke machines here in the restaurant, fill up your ice water. But you can also get coffee if you are sitting in the restaurant for 5 cents. But if you want to get it to go, which is what I did, it's $1.19, which is still a pretty awesome deal by today's standards.
So a man purchased a drugstore right after finishing pharmacy school in the middle of nowhere, and his whole family thought he was not making a good decision about doing that. So he said to his wife he felt bad for her that he was dragged her out there. She had a teaching profession, and he felt like he was wasting her talents by just running a store. And so she said she was very optimistic about it and said it's going to be fine. He said, well, I'll just give it about 5 years. And she said, well, we won't need to worry because they're going to be building Mount Rushmore, and it'll bring all these people in. So all these people were coming past, but they never stopped. So she came up with the idea of having a big sign on the highway saying free water, for thirsty tourists. So that began a whirlwind of a business, and it still stands today. So you can still get your free water and 5-cent coffee.
Well, if you're coming on I-90 going west, you are not going to miss this. This is the wall drug Brontosaurus that is right at the exit where you're going to get off to go to Wall Drug. It's 80 feet tall and right before the exit. So once you see this, you know this is where you got to go. All right, now let's go check out the rest of Wall. All right, so we need to talk about the donut. We haven't tried it yet, but I have heard that the donuts are something that people come around just a wall to get the donuts. Just touching it, it has a crispy outside, but if you squeeze it a little bit, it's a very soft inside. That to me is a really good consistency for donut.
We're just drooling, waiting.
This is a maple top. They have like a vanilla, chocolate, and plain. Let's just dive into it.
Get in it.
Okay.
Oh.
That's a good donut.
Oh, you're not letting go.
It's not me. It's. Yeah, that's really good. The outside is definitely crispy, and then the inside, very soft. And we've had this for a little bit.
Like 5 minutes, not a little bit. What do you mean?
We've had the donut like sitting in the car for a little bit, so it's not like it came right out of being baked.
5 stars. All right, real quick about that donut. I'm not really into cakey donuts, and that one was so good. It's not really cakey, but it is. It's like airy cakey. It's fluffy inside. It's not as dense as other cake donuts are, so it's really good. Because I was like, I'm not gonna really like it, but I'll give it a try. But it was really good.
Also, something else, I read that they have a little bit of like a lemon flavor in there, and I'm tasting it like a couple minutes later, like as I'm cleaning out my teeth. But you can taste like a hint of lemon.
Yeah.
It's not strong though.
And when we got it, we threw it on the dashboard until we were ready to eat it. So it only sat there for 5 minutes, but it was nice and toasty warm because the defrost is on. So I recommend, heating it up.
Well, on this cold day, we are still going to drive through Badlands National Park because why not? The blizzard has stopped. The snow has ceased for a little bit, so it's cleared up. We're just going to go for it.
All right, adventurers. Nice. It looks like we're going to take a short drive. The favorite small animals to see in the South Dakota plains is the prairie dog.
Story time. So, when we first came here, we had just got Pete, and this was his first big road trip. And what happened was every time we would get to a national park, there would be like the grate on the ground for the animals, like a cattle gate grate. And so when you drive over, it makes like that sound. And usually, typically, enough times apparently, as soon as we pass that gate, we would see animals. There would be bison or elk or something. And so every time we go over that grate, we put the window down so we could get pictures of whatever animal was there. I don't know why they were always right by the grate at the time, but they were, because Pavlov's dog happened, and now every time since that trip, which was how many years ago? Like 6 years ago?
Yeah, 6 years ago.
About 6 years ago, every time we put the window down, Pete, no matter where he's at, jumps up and goes running to the window to go investigate. Either he goes up there angry and he's growling already or barking, or he just looks to see what's happening. So we ruined him. And so if you think about it now, every time we put the window down would be like going through a gate or going through the border where you're passing the border patrol, or fast food. So either way, it's not good. It's not a good thing. It's really annoying. I wish I knew that that was going to happen. We accidentally trained him to do that. So can't wait for that to continue on. So the prairie dogs are hibernating now, but we can see all the little holes in the snow covering them. It's a shame. They're cute. But what did you want to say about the prairie dogs?
Yeah, so fun fact, the prairie dogs carry the fleas that carry the bubonic plague. That's the plague that killed 60% of Europe. Now, they said that they have a cure for it, but
the whole process is still not
you don't want
ideal.
to go through that. But yeah, if you go up and touch them, the fleas can jump up to 10 feet.
Don't try to touch them.
Do not want to go near the prairie dogs.
Do not feed them.
And do not feed them.
Leave them be. Just look with your eyes and your lens.
I hope you enjoyed watching the prairie dogs. They're pretty interesting, aren't they? I'll share a few more secrets about prairie dogs as we drive back.
Well, one thing about coming here in December is if you got snow, you're definitely going to be able to see some bison pies just sitting all over the place. So we know that there was definitely bison right over here. It's been on the road, it's been over here, but off in the distance across the way, you can see them just grazing out there. There's probably about maybe 15 over here, and then there's a few up the road there. So there are bison here, and this road is just near the Pinnacles Point. You're gonna go down this way, and this is where you're gonna see a lot of different kinds of animals like the bison and the prairie dogs. So if you're coming from that direction over by where Wall is, as soon as you get through the ranger gate, you're gonna take the first right and just go up the road. It's not a paved road, it's more of a dirt road, but we saw bison just a few minutes coming down the road. So definitely check it out. These views are so cool. It looks like it's Christmas time and somebody just sprinkled powdered sugar all over the tops of the Badlands. It's so neat. But we just got to the Pinnacles overlook point, and it's got multiple points. You just have to come down these stairs. They have a couple sets of stairs. You just walk down those and walk out to all the different points that they got, get some different views. But this is like the flagship spot for catching the views here at Badlands National Park. So I'm gonna go walk it. It's still like 27 degrees right now, and with that wind, it's just even colder. So Ashley and Pete are gonna hang out in the van. I'm gonna go see what I can see. What's cool is that you can just go off path and just start climbing down the rock area. Now it drops. There are definitely points where it's gonna drop down, but just wear some good footing shoes and just taking these views. It's really cool. Now you can't really see it, but way off in the distance behind me, you can see the Black Hills, and that's still like another hour away from here. right, so the flatland that I'm at now, well, out that way, that's where a lot of people had settled out in the West back in the 1890s when the Homestead Act was established by Abraham Lincoln. So basically people were paid to move out west and start laying plots all over this land out west. And they said that you would see just lines and lines of these plots where people have established what their land is actually going to be, and then, you know, they got basically land for free. Okay, so as you're driving, you're going to be doing what they call the wall. Now, the wall is going to be just basically everything that makes up the Badlands here. You're going to drive the lower part, which is the bottom, and then the upper part. Now, you hear wall, and what do you think? You think of Wall, like Wall Drug, like the town of Wall, right? So that is exactly why they call Wall, is because of this wall.